My name is John Macnicol, and I'm a visiting professor in social policy at the London School of Economics. Well, I had been researching the history of retirement, and from that I was motivated to look at the present debate regarding retirement, pensions, and old age and social policy generally. And it occurred to me that governments in the UK were trying to do something quite remarkable in the early 2000s. They were trying to reverse a very long-run trend to retirement and to extend working lives by a withdrawal of benefits by raising state pension ages. And I really thought this was worth discussing and criticising, because I actually don't agree with this policy. My book challenges the view that extending working lives is happening because of demographic and fiscal factors. It is claimed that it's an absolute necessity because people are living longer and because we can't afford better state pensions. But if anything, I'm curiously arguing the reverse. I'm arguing actually that the imperative need to expand labour supply, which is a long-standing neoliberal economic strategy, is causing a redefinition of the evidence in terms of both the demographic and the fiscal evidence. So that, in a sense, the tail is wagging the dog. And I think that needs to be examined, because if you look at the demographic evidence, for example, life expectancy for males at age 65 is only increasing by 0.9% per annum. And for males at birth, it's only 0.3% per annum. Slightly lower figures for females, but it all amounts to really a non-existent crisis. We do face a future problem of an aging population, partly because of immigration, mainly because of the size of cohorts moving through into retirement. And of course, these people have all paid for their state pensions, and yet they're going to have to wait longer for it. So that is basically my critical position. Well, I think there are some don'ts and there are some do's. And among the don'ts, I would say it's very important not to force people to work later in life by taking benefits away from them, which is essentially what is happening. People are going to have to wait a few more years, gradually introduced in incremental stages, for their state pension. And my calculation is that if the state pension age were raised to 69 for men and women tomorrow, we'd need anything between 1.5 million and 3.5 million new jobs. So I really think it's a very tall order to imagine those jobs can somehow be created magically. So I would say that my book is saying we should not be doing this, but at the end I do come up with some quite positive recommendations. We could encourage people to work later in life by better workplace practices, by perhaps a basic income or a citizen's income for everybody aged 60 and over, and we could encourage part-time working, etc., etc. But it's not going to be achieved, I think, by force. I think policymakers will benefit if they read the book and if they pay attention to it. I think the broader public will find it very interesting, because most of us face old age and retirement. It's a major problem for modern societies, and it certainly is going to grow as a problem in the future. I think governments are going to find it very, very difficult indeed to extend working lives. I fear, I don't like predicting this, but I fear that we may simply increase pensioner poverty by this policy.